Hey guys, thanks so much for calling in for our weekly Dreamers in Action team call. I am super excited to listen to Laura and all the greatness that she has to share with us this evening. It is week 12 of the 90-day action plan. So you've got just 5 days left to finish as strong as you started. If someone had, if you joined us in that first 90-day game plan right after celebration, and if you joined us in the middle or at some other time, no worries. Maybe you're like, what is she talking about? But if you've been on board for the 90 days, you've just in the home stretch, finished strong. It's been super fun to just recognize a lot of people. I, number one, want to say congratulations to Jen and Adam Feiter for hitting Crystal Executive for the 3rd time. They not only did it the very first time with their authentic rank advancement bonus deadline, but the second time they were offered a reset that they were eligible for, they crushed it. And now for the 3rd time, and it's just fun to see their dedication, their hard work, and the success that they are having. I also wanted to announce, if you didn't see my video, the 3 winners that won the VI trip to corporate. Melanie was in 3rd place, Laurie was in 2nd place, and Jen and Adam crushed it in 1st place. So they're all invited with their spouses to that VIP tour. Stay tuned for the next big contest. You know, I usually do it right after NYKO, but there will be some fun stuff coming up that I want to spoil you guys with in regards to celebration. So just know that we are not coasting through the summer. You know, we're going to absolutely just stay in momentum and have a lot of fun. And so with no further ado, I just want to get right into the heart of our training call tonight. You guys, for those of you that do not know Laurie, she comes from a really strong background in human resources. She is, you know, kind of retired from corporate America, but now she is an incredible entrepreneur. She's one of the strongest, most powerful leaders on this team. She serves and gives and helps everybody all the time. I never hear her say no. And she does it with ease, with grace, and so much fun. She's a 1-star Crystal Executive, 3-star Golden Circle, mom of 2, too many fur babies for me, just kidding, an amazing wife, and she's going to lead us with our call. So will you hop out tonight, please, Laura?
Thank you, girl. That was very sweet of you. Appreciate it. Okay, so really I wanted to find out what everybody else wanted to train on versus me just randomly picking a topic. And so if you were part of the voting crew in our Dreamers in Action page, I had 2 common things that seem to come up for most everyone. And the first one was, and we're going to talk about this tonight, is, you know, we're getting a lot of traction with our social media. How many of you, by show of hands, for those of you who I can see, some of you, your screens are blanked out. I'd love to see you, by the way, if you want to pop out. But by show of hands, how many of you are getting some traction off this bedtime belly buster thing we have going on? Crazy, right? So on top of that, many of you are using social media now for the first time, and you want to know, oh my gosh, when people comment or say something, what do I do? What's the next step? How do I connect and take it to an enrollment? And then the other common theme was, once you get people enrolled, how do you get them to share? So those are the 2 things I'm going to train on tonight. And just following suit with what we normally do, and before I jump into the training, I want to just have a couple of people on our team share their stories. I think hearing from other people and hearing their successes and hearing their testimonials is really important. So I'm going to ask Chris Marshall to pop out. Some of you may know Chris's story, may not. He's going to share his product story with us and kind of how Isagenix came in his life and what it's done for him. So Chris, would you just pop out and share with us?
Yes, I will. Thank you, Laura. You know, I wasn't looking for a business and I really wasn't looking for a change, but Laura and I were working out together and I was asking her, you know, from a nutrition background, what's a better way to enhance my workouts? She recommended the Amped line of products. I was running nearly an 11-minute mile. I was training for a half marathon. In 2 weeks, I cut it to 9:24 a mile. I just ran a half again on Sunday at 8:50 a mile. And the entire difference is our products, because I haven't changed anything else. I mean, I've gotten a year older and I've gotten faster. And I actually had a friend today who said he's mad at me because he can't run the way I do. So, of course, you know what I told him he should try. Anyway, so that's my quick story. I wanted to keep it brief and amazing, but such good protein. I had a shake before I went on my my 13-mile run, and that kept me full and that kept me energized, and I just absolutely rocked it. So what a wonderful time. Thank you for asking me to share, and that's my quick story.
And the other pieces of the puzzle that Chris is not sharing with you right now, and no fault of his, but when he got started, he really got started for something nutritional for himself, for to improve his performance. And he was, I think, 5-Hour Energy or something disgusting Chris was using. Anyway, he's absolutely in love with Knox and E-Shots and all that stuff now. So we've got him on the goods. But, you know, he came to me and said, do you think you can help my wife? And his wife, Teresa, is it okay if I share this, Chris?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
So maybe, why don't you share? He came to me, his wife needs to lose weight. And so he came to me and asked me, and I just think it would be so beneficial. So you see kind of how people get brought into all of this, you know? So go ahead.
So what do you tell your wife when the doctor says you need a knee replacement, but you have to lose like 60 pounds before I can do the knee replacement? You know, when she used to actually go to a gym, but she couldn't walk in the building anymore. So she can't walk, ride, get on an elliptical, jump in the pool, anything. And she lost 38 pounds with our products, and she's in a little bit of a holding point right now, but we're going to just crush the rest and get her new knee. And my huge dream, and this sounds simple, but my huge dream is just to take a walk after dinner with our new dog and hold hands. And that's something that will be so amazing and so incredible. And it is literally a life changer. And then my daughter got on it and lost 30 pounds in 10 weeks. And I mean, I could take the whole call, but I won't, I promise. But it's just every time I turn around, somebody else is getting better and somebody else is getting stronger. And I've just actually stopped and cried at points of seeing what people have done with this.
Thanks, Chris. And I really wanted Chris to share that. I mean, it's incredible. And I just wanted to share that not only is Chris crushing his running dreams, but, you know, he's changing his family's life for the best. And so it has kind of turned into a business opportunity for him. But I wanted to share that because I want you guys to really feel in your hearts the way that we change lives, right? Mm-hmm. We don't just sell people shakes. We literally change people's lives. So Chris, thank you for that. And thank you for trusting your family to all of us to get you on that journey.
Hey,
and
Laura.
So, yeah.
Real quick, Chris, we're going to keep calling you out because you're just amazing. What is the pink checkerboard behind you on your wall?
Oh, it's so cool. Wait till he tells you this.
Okay. So
I actually know, but I want everybody else to know.
I set a goal at the end of February to enroll 100 people as quickly as possible. And I asked my lovely wife if she would number 100 Post-its from 1 to 100. And so they're on the wall, and I've taken the first 10 off since March 1st. And the other 90 are just 90 more people that I'm still looking to bless. And they may not know it yet, and I may not know them yet, but I'm going to find them. I had 4 people inquire on my BBB challenge, and that's the deal. So if you could see any closer, you would see that those are just numbered from 90 down to 1, and I'm going to peel all those bad boys off, and we're going to have a little army. Thank you, Lauren.
I love it. I love it. So I'm so glad that you asked him so that he can share that, you know, because we all have our own visions for ourselves in this business and what it can do. And Chris is really looking to change as many lives as he can. And so thank you, Chris, so much for everything that you do for everybody, because it's not just those you serve, but there's people on our team I know that you're helping considerably, including the hour and a half you spent helping me today. So thank you for all you do. And Jen Feichter, I love you to pieces. And I'm going to call you out and ask you if you would just share your business story, you know, kind of how you got into the whole Isagenix business piece with everybody tonight as well.
Yeah, so I will share my quick, brief story. You can hear me, right? Okay, so before Isagenix, we were living paycheck to paycheck. We could not afford our bills. We had actually had fundraisers done for our family after I wasn't able to go back to teaching after 10 years because my second born child has a lot of health issues and needed his mommy at home. So I found Isagenix through Laura and accidentally found out there was a compensation plan a couple months later, and it obviously changed our lives. We were able to replace my teaching paychecks, and I've been able to help so many other people be able to have supplemental income and get healthier. And now we're looking at me always staying home for work and not having Adam to work every time overtime shift ever possible. And who knows what the future holds. He has 12 years left at his JOB, and we don't know. We don't know where everything will go from there, but it's just been such a blessing and has taken so much financial stress off of our family. So that's it.
Thank you, Jen. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome what we have our hands on and what we're able to do in changing lives. And, you know, there's some product story there with Jen too, but her family is absolutely benefiting tremendously from all of our products, or shakes, or greens. Her husband, Adam, is ripped. She's got a nice six-pack herself. So there's so much going on there outside of the business for her as well, but it always starts with the product. So thank you so much for sharing. I was supposed to have another person hopping out tonight, but she had an emergency and couldn't jump on the call tonight. So I'm going to cover it for her. Some of you may have seen my Facebook Live in the Cleansers group today, but I want to talk about our product in the spotlight, and I hope, can you guys, I know it might be backwards or upside down, but it's our body wash. How many of you, just by show of hands, use the body wash? Okay, so about half of the people on the screen. So someone had recommended that I try it. You know, I kind of came for energy and for health. Yeah, it might have been you, Lauren. I didn't come for body wash, right? But what I found is it makes perfect sense. We're cleansing, right? We're cleansing because we're eliminating toxins from our body. So what we really want to try to do is eliminate as many toxins out of our life that we have control over. I mean, there's a lot we don't, but our health and beauty products are one of those things that we have control over. And many health and beauty products are loaded with toxins. Use our entire, and most of you know this already because I post about it pretty frequently, but I was never a skincare line kind of person. I switched over to our Rejuvenity skincare line as well because it's free of parabens and chemicals and all that. And it also really works, by the way. My skin has never been healthier or more vibrant. So the skincare line, but the body wash, what I want to talk about, if your shower looks anything like mine did, there's like 50 bottles of stuff, right? There's shaving creams and shampoos and body washes and all this stuff in the shower. And so what we did, I still use my shampoo. I don't use this as shampoo. I know it's hard to tell, but I color my hair. So I use a special color shampoo for color treated hair. But my husband uses this on everything. His hair, he shaves with it. I shave with it. We wash our bodies with it. So we've eliminated tons of product out of the shower with this, just the body wash. And so now we don't have, all those other products in our shower, and we don't have all those toxins too. So just some good information to know and share with your clients and your customers, that as they're working on eliminating toxins, changing up some of their beauty products or health and beauty products is really, really powerful. So, and it doesn't smell girly. It's kind of like a really refreshing sort of lemony lime scent. Is that how you guys would describe it? Kind of, sort of? Yeah. It's really fresh. I just think it smells really fresh. So good for men or women, but this tube is about 15 bucks. So by the time you eliminate other body wash, shaving cream, shampoo, etc., you're saving money, one or the other. And the body lotion that goes with this is amazing, absolutely amazing. So the two together are wonderful. And one of the things that I do pretty frequently for my friends for their birthdays, I buy them a body wash and a body lotion, and I give it to them as a gift for their birthday, and it's a great introduction to the product. And it's about 30 bucks by the time you add both together, which is about a nice size birthday present. So just something to keep in mind and share. So that's our product in the spotlight. It's also really refreshing and non-drying on the skin, so I'll just throw that in there. So thanks for letting me talk about that. And I want to jump in, and Lauren's saying something awesome about the Rejuvenity sample packs. Awesome. Oh, that's so nice, Lauren. Okay, read her notes. I want to jump in and start talking about our training this evening. So basically what came up from all of you relating to what you wanted to train on tonight was, I don't want to jump into training on social media because we have some amazing trainings on social media. And for anyone who doesn't know, I'm just going to tell you quickly, I didn't know this until, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so ago, but if you go to our Dreamers in Action page, in the upper right-hand corner, there's a search bar. So if you didn't know that, you can go to the search bar and you can plug in any topic, and you'll get in the feed exactly, things related to your topic. So if you want training on social media, go to the search bar and type in social media, and all of our trainings will pop up. So if you didn't know that, I just want you to know it's there for you. It's an easier way to find it in the page. So I'm not going to do social media training, but the question came up is, now that we're using social media and people are responding or commenting or liking or sending us messages, what do we do, right? How do we handle that? And I think that's a great question. And before I answer it, we start talking about it, I just want you all to know, and Lauren can confirm this, when I caught this vision of this business opportunity, I was working a full-time job and two part-time jobs. And I had very little time. So I knew that if I was going to build this business, I was going to have to do it through social media. But I didn't know anything about social media, right? I joined because I wanted to chat with my friends, see their kids, whatever. So when I got started using social media, I was an absolute disaster. And Lauren can confirm this. It took me months upon months upon months to figure out what to do with social media in an effective way, right? So I would share Lauren's posts, and she would call me and say, take that down, don't share my posts. You have to have your own posts, not my posts, right? So don't share people's posts, have your own posts. You can copy whatever, but make them your own. That was one of the things I learned. And then the next was when people would comment or be like, hey, what are you doing? Or what is that? I would respond with a comment on my page this long, discussing all the benefits of cleansing, right? Which is I lost everyone, and why would I put that out there? And she would say, Laura, delete that comment. She was constantly messaging me. I was an absolute disaster. So I just shared that all with you. I mean, many of you are probably much more savvy than I was when I got started. But that being said, I would encourage you, if social media is something new that you're just learning how to use to build this business, that you be 100% coachable. I never got offended when Lauren said, take it down. I never got offended when she said, change that. Told me. Why did I do that? Because Lauren was successful, wasn't, right? And I wanted to get where she was. So that meant I was going to listen to what she said, and it wasn't personal. She wanted me to be successful. So be coachable on your social media, whoever you're partnering with, whoever your leader is. If they're giving you tips and ideas, by all means, listen to them. And be authentic. Be authentically you. If you're just copying and sharing Lauren's post or my post, that's not necessarily authentically you. So you really want to be real and be yourself. So if you have a good sense of humor, Jen is always posting little funny tidbits. That's not me. If I started posting that way, people would be like, what's wrong with Laura? She must be smoking something, right? But that's really authentic to Jen. So really keep your posts and what you do authentic to you. So that's all I'm going to say about social media, but I just wanted to share with you all that I struggled a lot in the beginning figuring out how to use it, and I'm still learning every single day, and it's a journey. So if you're like, gosh, I don't know what I'm doing, just reach out, get some help, find some people to follow and see what they do so that you get ideas on how to use social media to create who you are. And then when people start commenting and liking and sending you private messages, that's what we want to talk about right now. So let's say you put up your transformation picture, right? And you tell your story. I found these amazing nutrition products and I'm feeling so amazing, blah, blah, blah. And people are liking it and they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm so happy for you. Or they're sending you private messages. What do we do, right? How do we respond at that point? So, couple of things, and everything I'm sharing with you is what I do. It doesn't mean it's 100% the right way. It's just a way that works for me. So take notes, take tidbits, and see what will work best for you. And again, you want to connect authentically with someone. So if my words don't resonate with you, make them your words. That's what's so important here, is being authentic when you reach out and genuinely caring about that person. If you just want to sell them some shakes, they're going to pick up on it like that. Right? You have to genuinely care and want to connect with them. So the first thing that happens is when people say, oh my gosh, tell me more about that. Tell me what you're doing. I go straight to a private message. I don't put a big fat comment up on my wall about what I'm doing, right? I might say, I'm sending you a message now or something like that. And I send them a message and I say, thank you so much for loving on my post. I know you're curious about what I'm doing. Do you have any health goals right now? Is there anything you're looking to accomplish? And typically at that point, they'll say, oh my gosh, I need to lose weight too. Or I've been desperate to lose weight, or I have no energy, or whatever it is. And that at that point, right, when they tell you that whatever it is they're looking for, that's your go point, right? So I would typically, if they say, gosh, I've been trying to lose weight forever, I say, oh my gosh, I know exactly how you feel. I have a private Facebook group. I would love to add you in it. There's tons of great information in there. I can tag you. You can see what this is all about. Would you be open to that? They typically say yes right away. And I say, great, I'd love to jump on the phone and talk with you more. Are you available this day and time or that day and time? And I give them 2 choices. Or is this time better? So are you available today at 8, or is Thursday at 3 better, right? And I have permission to add them to my Facebook group. I have a call set up. Once the call is confirmed in that private message, I then will add them to the Facebook group. All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. And when I add them to the Facebook group, what I have been doing, instead of sending a tool in the private message, I go to our testimonials page, Dreamers in Action Testimonials, and I'm just shutting off my phone, it's distracting. I add them into our Dreamers in Action testimonial page, right? I welcome them there. I say, hey everyone, please welcome Jen Feichter to our private page. She's really excited to find out more about what we do and how she too can lose weight, right? And then hopefully you'll all comment and welcome her and tell her she's in the right place and all that good stuff. That's where teamwork comes in. Then in the first comment, I typically drop my tool, right? So it might be Mary Evans Just Cleanse. It might be Are You Toxic? It might be Why Isogenics, whatever that is. I drop that right in the comments. So they'll see they're added, they'll see they're welcomed and tagged, and they'll have the tool right there. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? What I try to do after that, not necessarily the same day, but maybe if our call isn't for 2 days or something, I'll try to get some kind of group message going. Why am I doing all this? I want social proof. Not just that they saw my Facebook page and my transformation, but that they see other people having success in doing this, right? Because now they're going to say, oh my gosh, this really works. This really works. So I'll start a group PM. It might be, I might pick people who have weight loss, right? So it might be Christina, linguist. It might be, I don't know, if they're mommies, some of the mommies on our team, whoever I think they're going to relate to pretty well. And I'll just say, hey guys, I'm chatting with Jen Feichter. She's really interested in what we're doing. Would you mind sharing your stories with her? So a couple of people will chime in. They'll do a voice recording, or they'll do a group, just a message in the group thread. More social proof before we actually get on the phone. In the testimonials page as well, I forgot to mention this, but when I welcome them and I put the video, I typically will go in and tag them in a couple of picture testimonials that I know they will relate to. Okay, so what does that mean? For new people, you may not have a clue who's in there. You're going to have to take a little bit of time and kind of search around, or ask whoever is coaching you or whoever you're working with, like, hey, who would be good to tag here? And I could probably rattle off, 10 testimonials for different things. That would be great. So then I tag them in those things, because now they're going to see, oh my gosh, like for Jill Berth, she's one of my favorites for people who have a lot of weight to lose, or Craig Coleman for men who have a lot of weight to lose, right? There's testimonials in there. And then these prospects, if you will, are like, holy cow, Laura's not kidding. This is amazing, right? By the time you get on the phone with them, they've learned about the cleansing. They've seen tons of testimonials. They've gotten plenty of social proof. And you can get on the phone with them, or you can make that call a three-way call. I might do an initial call with them, talk them through some questions, and then set up a three-way call. And that setting up that three-way call could be for a variety of different things, right? It all depends where you are in your business, okay? So who loves to set up three-way calls? Who's really good at it and thinks it's awesome? Maybe kind of, sort of, yeah. Okay, so the reason I brought this up is because it's the one thing that I struggled with tremendously in the beginning. I don't know, I just thought it was weird. right? I just thought it was really strange to get a third person on the phone that the person I'm talking to didn't know. Who's ever had that thought? Like, well, this is going to be really weird. Yeah. So how do we do it in a way that's not weird? Because it is singly the most powerful thing that we can do if we do it the right way. Thanks, Michelle. I see you're saying me. Thank you for your honesty, girl. I don't know where you are on my screen, but three-way calls, first of all, never, ever, ever call them that. Okay, because as soon as you say, hey, I want to get you on a three-way call, that immediately just sounds weird. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, what do you mean, get me on a three-way call, right? So it's the introduction of the process. So if you're someone who's relatively new to this, right? So Donna, I'm just going to use you as an example. You might say, hey, you know, I'm so excited. I've had such great results. I know you've looked around in our page. I've got your goals. I am really still new, and I want to be sure I can get all your questions answered. I would love to have you hop on the phone with my friend Laura. She's really knowledgeable. Right? Was that weird? That's not weird at all, right? I mean, that sounds like you care about me and you want to make sure I get everything I need. So that's one way to set up a three-way call. Another way might be to say to the person, oh my gosh, you sound just like my friend Jen. She's got 2 little kids, had no energy, really didn't have a lot of weight to lose, but felt kind of bloated. I would love for you to talk to her and hear her story. Did that sound weird? No, right? Like, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I would love to hear her story. I'd love to hear what she did, right? Or maybe I'm talking to an athlete or a runner or someone, and I say, gosh, you know, my friend Chris Marshall is crushing it. He is doing so well with these products. I would love for you to talk with him and just hear what he's doing. Not weird, right? Not weird at all. So it's really all in how you set it up, but it's so powerful to get that third-party validation and to get someone else on the phone. And if you're really new, then three-way calls are absolutely, you know, your very, very best thing. I mean, I think Jen Feichter did three-way calls with me till she hit executive. And by the way, she did that in like 5 weeks. So if that's any indication of the power of three-way calls, that's it. And she would just tell people, I mean, this is her personality. It may not be yours, but she would just say, I have no idea. I feel amazing. You need to talk to my friend Laura. Right? They'd be like, well, what are you doing? What is it? Right? She would just say, I feel great. I don't even know, but you should talk to my friend Laura. And she'd call me, we'd get on the phone, and right, Jen, is that not totally a true story? So that's the power of that three-way call. It will close the person. A three-way call, if that person has already looked at tools and already been introduced in Facebook, that three-way call will close them. All right. That was everything I wanted to talk about in responding. I do want to mention Christina Linguist. I don't know if she's on with us or not, but she does some really powerful stuff that got me started doing this. So sometimes people just like your post or they hit the love button, but they don't say anything. And so what I've learned from Christina, and I love that we all can learn from each other, what Christina does, and she's been incredibly successful with the liking and the loving on her posts, she sends a message and says, thank you so much for all of your support and love on my posts. This has been an amazing health journey for me, and I find it so encouraging when you know, people reach out and take the time to like or love my posts. I feel truly amazing. It's been a great journey. And typically people will respond back, and it's a way for her to start that connection past just the like and the love button. Is anybody else doing that right now? Yeah, it's really a powerful tool to get the conversation going. Thank them, you know, for their support and love on your posts. And I think that's super powerful. There's so many chats going on. I don't know if there's anything in there I should be reading. I'll look at them when we get to the Q&A. So that is really how you take people's comments and private messages and convert them over to product users. So I hope that that was helpful. And then the other component, the other thing that people ask to hear about tonight is, once you have a product user, how do you convert them to being a sharer, right? So they love the products. How do you get them to share? And we'll tell you that it's not magic, but it is definitely a lot about how you present all of this. And so I'll share with you what I do, and I know everybody does it a little bit differently, but this is how I do it. When I have the enrollment, and I want to back up, customer first we need to talk about that, because with customer first, every single person now comes in as a customer, right? Every person comes in as a customer. If they want to begin earning referral bonuses, PIBs, income, whatever you want to call it, they have to elect into that. They have to elect to be an associate. And they can go to their back office and they can elect that. They personally can add their social, and then they're now eligible to earn money, right? They can earn product coupons if they don't do that. So if they refer people, they can get product coupons. So my lingo has changed a little bit at the time of enrollment. So whereas before I would say, hey, I'm obligated to let you know Isagenix has the most amazing referral bonuses, you're going to have a fantastic experience. And whether you intend to or not, people are going to notice and they're going to ask you what you're doing. How would you be most comfortable handling that? Would you want to refer them to me? Tell them I will call them? How do you want to handle it? Because you are eligible to earn bonuses that could exceed $400 depending on who you refer and when you refer. And I usually have their attention when I say the $400, which is true. And then I say, would you rather get product coupons or cash earnings, so that they know they have an option. I haven't had anybody say they didn't want the cash yet, but it's possible people might just want product coupons. So that is the point that you want to start to introduce sharing, right? You're going to have amazing results and people are going to notice. When they notice, what are you most comfortable doing? Do you want to tell them to call me, or do you want me to call them? Do you want to earn referral money or coupons for product, right? Posture is everything. Posture is everything. If you are uncomfortable talking about them sharing, they're going to be uncomfortable sharing. If you're excited about them sharing and you are strong and have a strong posture, they're going to share. They're going to share, right? If you're like, well, you might want to earn some money, or you might want to earn, they're not even listening anymore. You just tell them, you're going to have a great experience. People are going to notice. Do you want money or do you want coupons? Just be very straightforward with them. Then the key is, once they get started, how many people are using the new associate checklist? New associate checklist? If you're not, start. That helps. Once you get that person started, part of that checklist process comes back to talking about sharing and referring. So if you're not using that checklist, start using it. And again, posture as you're going through the checklist. If you are acting intimidated and uncomfortable, they're going to pick up on that. If you're strong and confident, it's all good. They're going to be like, oh yeah, okay, awesome, And it walks you through their level of interest, and it leads you into explaining the business opportunity that's there. All right, so the checklist is really important. When they send you their first message, if they haven't shared already, when they send you the first message that they feel amazing, what I always do is I say, I am so grateful you trusted me. I'm so, so happy you're having amazing results. Who do you know in your life that needs to feel this good? Right? If they're like, well, I don't know, like you don't know anybody who wants to lose weight or needs more energy. My business is 100% referral based. I don't do marketing. I don't advertise. And the reason that I've been able to help so many people is because people want to help their friends and family, right? And that's my mission. So who do you know that I can reach out to, or we can reach out to together, that we can help? All right. And I keep the conversation going. And if they say, well, I don't really know anybody, I said, well, think about your family members, think about your friends. Don't determine their budget. Don't determine what they can afford or not afford, right? Because you never know what people are praying for. You were praying for something and you found me, right? So let's pay that forward. So you have to start the conversation at the point of enrollment, and you need to keep it going. Some people are going to share like this. Some people will just be like, oh my gosh, my best friend, my mom, right? And other people are going to be a little pensive. They're going to hold off. That's okay. That doesn't mean they're never going to share, right? It just means that they're just going to take a little more time. It might take them a month. It might take them 6 weeks. But keep reminding them without being pesky, like, hey, I'm so glad you found this. I'm sure there's plenty of people we can pay it forward to. Who can we pay it forward to? Who's asking you? Because I promise you, if they're getting results, people are asking them what they're doing. I promise, right? So that is really what I wanted to cover. And since this training was really all about you guys and what you wanted to hear most in a training call right now, I really wanted to just open this up for questions. So if you have specific things that you want to cover that I didn't yet cover on either of those two topics, taking your social media leads and converting them, and taking your enrollments and converting them to consultants. If I missed something, I'm here. We have, I don't even know what time it is. Ooh, we got a little bit of time. So if there's a couple of questions, I would absolutely love to answer them. Don't be shy.
Hey, Laura.
Yeah.
I actually just wanted to hop out one thing too, because my verbiage has changed a little bit with customer service as well. And the same way, you know, introducing the coupons, because I know we used to always want to get people enrolled as an associate and then, you know, try and get them to grab those rank advancement bonuses. But now the way that people are coming in as a customer, and their rank advancement bonus clock doesn't start until they watch that video and become an associate. Even the way I'm talking about like auto ship and those things has changed. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I loved how you brought that up. So not only on that way of like, hey, you're going to get results. What's the best way? Do you want coupons? Do you want cash? Do you want to do the talking? Do you want to talk to me? I think, or have them talk to me. All of that's great. But even when I'm setting it up, so after I've kind of gotten the enrollment, and I said, so there's a couple options right now, because Isagenix is a customer focused company. Like, we're really a product driven company. We're more focused on a customer experience and leading with our products than we are like building a business. And I said, so there's a few different ways for you to get started. And I said, if you don't want to have any commitment to future orders and you don't want to have an annual fee, we're welcome to do that, but you're only going to get about 10% discount from the retail pricing. However, if you're willing to pay a one-time fee of $29 and sign up for our Auto Ship Rewards program, which doesn't mean you have a minimum every single month. It just means you're technically enrolled on Auto Ship, whether you do a $1, donation to the company that we partner with, Make-A-Wish, or you just order shakes, or you order a whole system. Just as long as you're on Auto Ship, you're getting 25% off the retail price. And I said, it's up to you, but let's just say on the 30-day system, our 30-day system, if we were to purchase it at $29 fee, with that $25 discount, it's basically $269. If we didn't do any membership fee, and we just went with the 10% off, I said, you're looking at closer to $350. And I said, so if you think that you're going to order anything after this, I said, it's worth that $29 fee, and kind of explaining it to them and giving them exact numbers or like estimate numbers. So even right now with our bedtime belly buster and that challenge, like a couple people are like, do I have to order this every month, or what am I signing up for? I said, no, you're just getting the challenge. And I said, but here's the thing, if we pay the $29, because if you do like this or you want to continue to order extra product, I would rather you spend the money in product than in fees, that we're going to get you 25% off the total. And I said, if you don't want to pay for the membership and you just want to do it once, it's a 10% discount. And I literally had priced it out what it would have been if they signed up without auto ship or without the annual fee, that 10% discount, as opposed to what it is. And it's like no brainer. Every single time they're going to end up in savings. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there as you brought up your verbiage, because the way that we're trying to get people as preferred customers on auto ship has absolutely changed instead of just customer or associate. So you kind of triggered that for me.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I think, as we've had these changes, I love the changes. Are you okay, Lauren?
All right. Sorry.
I love everything about customer first. I think it is so beneficial for not just customers, but also for us. It's just a matter of making some tweaks and changes to what we say and how we say it. So thank you. I'm glad you said that, because I was kind of struggling a little how to explain it, but you said it beautifully. So thank you for sharing that. There's a couple of questions in the group chat. So I think, Karen, you asked the first one. How do you set up three-way calls with team members? I think probably the easiest way to do it is to start a group message with whoever you'd like to do the three-way call, right? So I would say, I'd send a message to Michelle and say, Michelle, I've got a busy working nurse, right? Not that you're a nurse, but you work in a hospital around a lot of nurses and you would know. So I would really love to set up a call. Can you give me some times that you're available in the evenings this week, because my prospect is only available in the evenings? And then Michelle would say, sure, I'd love to help you with the call. Here's some times I'm available. I'd go back to my prospect and say, are you available this time or that time to speak with my friend Michelle? Does that help? Yeah? Sorry, I'm looking at messages in the chat too. Let's see. Colleen says, what about when you give people a few choices for a call, but they can't do it or they're being iffy about it? So here's the deal. If you're a little iffy, they're iffy, number one, right? So if your posture is at all, could you possibly get on a call? Like if you're using that kind of lingo, they're going to be iffy because it sounds weird to them. If you just straight up say this day at this time or that time at that time better, you're typically going to get a response. If you don't, that person is possibly not very committed to doing anything and they're just kind of fishing around. That's what I find. If they legitimately say, hey, I'm really sorry, I can't do either of those times, I'm at work, I would say, what is your work schedule? And then I'd plug back in 2 more times for them. So if they say I work, 10 to 7 and, whatever, I would say, great, how about 9 a.m. on this day or blah, blah, blah that day. If they still are not willing to commit, I would just tell them, look, I would love to connect with you and share this. It's life-changing. I've helped however many people, I usually say thousands of people. Let me know your availability in the next week and we can get on the phone. And I stop the conversation at that point. I'm not chasing them. They know I'm here. They know what I have. And they typically, if I'm like, let me know I'm here, let me know what you can do times in the next week, and I stop the conversation, they will immediately start replying. Or if the conversation goes dead for a while and they touch base with me, overweight and unhappy. So let's see. Karen, the way you set up, Laura, could you type the verbiage for the, awesome. So we give them a time and date for the 3-way call. Yes? Yes, we give them times. We give them options. I'm not sure, April, if you want to unmute yourself and let me know exactly what your question is on the 3-way call, I'd be so happy to answer it for you.
I think she actually wrote in there too that her question was answered. I mean, April, out, but it looked like she was kind of asking and then you said it and then she said it got answered.
Oh, okay. Cool. Trying to follow all through the chat. Does anyone have any other questions? Did I miss any other questions? The more you do it, the better you get. Michelle, did you have a question?
Yeah. So I guess being a product user for a really long time, I know that, how everything works, and I know the science behind it because I'm medical. I guess I have, a hard time, or I guess maybe it's me, maybe my prospects have a hard time with me trying to get a 3-way call together because they think I should be the expert already, which I feel like I am, but I'm not necessarily an expert in the business because I just started sharing a few months ago. So in that case, what do you think that I should be saying to people? Like today, I felt like, I had Lauren on the phone. I said, sometimes I've been using this for years. I think that, but, I think a nutritionist opinion can be invaluable, and that's why I want to get Lauren on the phone. So I don't know if that was a good thing to say or something else.
Can I hop in for 1 second, Laura?
Of course, absolutely.
So you guys, I'm going to answer Michelle's question, but for all of you, the idea of the conference call or the 3-way call is not necessarily to have an expert on the line, right? There's times that there can be used that way and you really want to validate those credentials, but more often than not, it's for third-party validation so that they're not just like, okay, Michelle did this, but oh, Michelle and Lauren did this, or Laura didn't do this, Laura and Jen did this. Or it's to put like-minded people together. It's to put people in the same boat that they are experiencing. So for example, if I've got an athlete who is a marathon runner and he is used to taking goos and Gatorade and caffeine blocks and things like that, and he wants to know how he's going to incorporate the AMPS line into his, marathon or half marathon runs, even though I may know the science and even though I know the AMPS line, it's so much more powerful if I can get Kristen Burgess or Shannon Stewart or Chris Marshall on the phone, who are marathon runners, to talk step by step, mile by mile on exactly what they're doing, because they're like-minded people. The same way if I'm talking to someone who's nursing or pregnant, I could talk about these products and I can send information, because none of us have to be experts. We just have to know where to get the information. But if I can get Melanie on the phone or Haley on the phone or Andriana on the phone or someone on the phone that's used it and can talk about exactly what they've gone through, there's so much to be said about that, because people are going to trust people they're like to, and if someone's lost 10 pounds, I mean, that's great. And you understand the weight loss, but you can't relate to someone who has to lose 100 pounds. And so a lot of times the three-way call is not necessarily to get the expert on the call, but really just to get relatable people on there, or just someone else's story to validate it. Because some people, Michelle, might look at you and be like, you're a nurse, you're in health, of course it's going to work for you. You're a healthy person, or something like that. Whereas if they can look at someone that isn't in the healthcare field, do you know what I mean? And say, okay, these products are working for everybody, it helps. But the key thing that Laura said in the call is the posture that you take. And so if you're wishy-washy, or you're almost asking permission, like, is it okay if my upline calls you, or I want to call you, I'm going to do a three-way call with my sponsor? It's weird. And if people aren't going to get on it, I wouldn't get on that. If someone approached me that way. But if I was talking to someone who was, significantly overweight and like that was their main goal, I would say, hey, I've been using Isagenix for a long time and I love the product and I love the success stories, but I've got to introduce you to my good friend Conchetta. I watched her yo-yo diet for decades, and she says this was the last thing she ever had to do. I said, she lost 80 pounds on this system. She looks amazing. You're going to be so excited that you get to hear her story. Win her a couple times at work for you, because I want you to be able to hear it live from her, right? Now that person is so fired up. They're so excited. Like, we're not selling anything, but I care so much about them that I want them to hear a story from someone who's walked the talk that they've been in. Do you know what I mean? And so the same way too with like one of the athletes, I'm like, oh my gosh, one of my really good friends is a part of Team Isagenix. I mean, he literally basically reps for the company because he walks around with 8-pack abs all season long. Like, he would love to chat with you. He'd love to tell you about his products have transformed his body. Win her a few times at work, because I want him to tell you exactly what he does. I don't know exactly what he does every single day, and it's really the way that like you set it up. And the same too with not just doing stuff for the product, but also for the business. I was talking with Haley and Melanie and Shannon last night. And so we're talking about how do we create consultants and how do you get people to share that don't want to do the business. And Laura set that up perfectly. I mean, we're a product-driven company. 80 to 90% of people are just going to use the products. But we can get people to consultants, which doesn't mean they're business builders, right? It just means that they are empowering other people to get the same results. So they're sharing their story with their spouse, with their friend. But sometimes it's that three-way call that helps them. When someone's getting results and they're like, oh, I don't want to sell, I don't want to do the business, a lot of times that enrolling sponsor shuts down. It's like, they don't want to sell, they don't want to do it. But if I can say, hey, you know what, I want to call you back with my friend Laura. She, swore off this business or whatever. She was super introverted, had never done social media, but she knew these products had changed her life, that she almost had like a calling on her heart to help other people. I would love for her to just chat with you for a couple minutes and see if there's some ways that we might be able to help your friends and family without you feeling like a salesperson. Would you be open to chatting with her? And that question, like, are you open? Would you be open, is really key. Because if they say no, they're not saying no to you. They're saying no, they're not open. So the whole thing is posture and verbiage, and that people understand it's all about service. The reason people don't want to get on a three-way call is because they feel like they're getting sold. Or they don't want to get on a conference call on how to rank advance to consultant because they feel like they're being pressured or forced. But if we can come in a way that it's all about education, it's all about support, it's all about service, right? Then people are excited about it. And what happens is the person that was really reluctant to get on the phone ends up thanking both people. It went really well because they're like, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. Like, they're so excited that there was someone else that was volunteering their time because they cared about them, and that's a really good feeling. But we take it away from people if we assume how they're going to behave instead of just taking a posture that they're getting two for the price of one at the exact same time. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Can I add one more thing to that I think is important, and it comes from my story. When I got started, the only reason why I'm where I am is because I don't have quit in me, guys. So if that's any inspiration to you, every mistake you could make, I made. So I had a little health coaching business. I did some nutritional research, got some certifications, became a certified health coach. And when Isogenics came along and I was going to build this business, I knew everything, right? I knew every ingredient, every product, everything. Well, of course, I wasn't doing anything that anybody else could do. And the way that this business works is everything you do, the person you're talking to has to feel like they could do the same thing. So Michelle, if you're using all of your nurse practitioner knowledge on people, they're never going to share because they're going to say, well, Michelle, I don't know anything you know. I made that mistake for months and months and months, right? I regurgitated every bit of information about Isogenics to every single person, ingredients, blah, blah, blah. And I got people started. A lot of people started, and I had no consultants, none, right? So for me, I had to take advantage of crystal resets to actually, start to hit these things. Lauren snapped a rubber band on my wrist for about 400 miles all the way down to DC every time I said the word health coach. So I got over it pretty quick. But I'm telling you, if you are not using the tools and you are the source of information, no one is ever going to do what you do, right? So if they want to know about product ingredients, send them to isoproduct.com. Do not regurgitate every last bit of ingredients to them, right? Even if you know, okay? If they want to know about a certain specific thing, isogenicshealth.net. So you know what? I've got a great resource for you. Let me send it to you. Use the tools because that is what people can duplicate. They can't duplicate your knowledge, Michelle, or Lauren's clinical nutritionist knowledge and my little bit of, nutrition knowledge. It's not, most of us don't know that, right? So if you're finding it challenging to get people on three-way calls, I'm going to suggest we've probably already shared more information than we should have, and we should have shared more tools, right? And then getting them on the three-way call in whatever fashion we organize that, right? My three-way calls were so bizarre in the beginning, and people would hang up on me and not enroll and ask me not to ever call them again with another person on the phone. These are all true stories, all true stories. So how we set it up and how we get people started. Michelle, it's hard because you are in the medical profession. It's hard to take that hat off, but I promise you, people will be fine with it. They'll be fine with it. Lauren ran a clinical nutrition practice. She took that hat off. She doesn't regurgitate all of her clinical nutrition knowledge on everybody, right? She just shares how good they're going to feel and connects them all. She'll call me in the middle of the day and be like, are you free to talk to this lady for a minute, right? And I'll just be like, yeah, that was my story, 30 seconds. She's like, thank you, and hangs up, right? So the biggest thing I guess I'm saying is take off your medical hat. Use the tools that are available, and you'll have a lot more success in the process. I hope that helped.
Definitely. Can I ask another question? And I can't see myself, so I don't know if you can see me or if my head's cut off or anything. So I had an interesting conversation with someone today, and they responded to my Belly Buster Challenge post. And I've been doing a lot of podcast listening and things like that, and how to ask about what are they eating every day, how much are they spending, and I go through all of that. And I was kind of getting hammered with questions like, just how much does it cost? And then I'd be like, well, if you look at what you're spending each day, and the shakes cost about a couple of bucks, and you're looking at about $8-9 a day for the 30-day pack, and yada, yada, yada. And we had already talked about what she's already spending. And it was a real abrasive, like, well, that's absolutely not going to happen.
I think, Michelle, those questions are really, really, really good when you're leading with like a 30-day, the pace setter or the president's pack or something, and just overall in Isogenics when they're looking at the whole system. But because we're specifically marketing the Bedtime Belly Buster, it is a time to just be more candid and just say, hey, there's about 8 different products that you can choose from. Like, we're suggesting 3, type thing. And I've been telling people with shipping and handling and tax, it's roughly between 130 and 180 based on the add-ons that you get or something like that, and then pricing it out. And again, explaining if they want the 10% discount without an annual membership, or 25% discount with the annual membership. But I think you're inquiring about getting to the cost and the value and all of that is really, really great when you're leading with an entire system and you're trying to reallocate their grocery budget into Isagenix. But for the bedtime belly buster, which we're doing for a 2-week promotion and marketing as a supplement, not really replacing any meals, it is a time to just be more candid and more upfront because they're not replacing any meals. This is all additional things that they're going to add in right now. It's much, much different than we're leading with the systems. And the idea was to have clever marketing, bring a lot of people in, then hopefully once they're on our pages and they love the products, to continue ordering or go into a 30-day system or something of that sort.
Can I
Yeah,
throw
she had
something in?
responded to a post from, I think, last week, and she's like, what did you do? How did you get started? That sort of thing. And so that's what I explained to her and all of that. And so, I don't know.
Michelle, can I interrupt for a second? Were you on the phone with her or was it through messages?
I was on the phone.
Okay, cool.
I was just wondering, like, how do you respond to people that are just so, I don't know, abrasive and I just said, well, it may not be for you and let's just discuss this later. And, her kids were screaming in the background and
And that's okay too, because she probably was really, really stressed at that time.
Yeah.
And don't take anything personally. I mean, the 4 agreements, if you've never read it, I mean, you can like Google the 4 agreements and they're right there. But one of them is to never take anything personally. And that's something I have to remind myself of all the time. She's stressed out. She's got kids in the background. She's like, GTFP is all she's thinking. And then, one of the times, like, you can literally just say, hey, like, I'm here. I want to help you the best that I can. I know you're busy. Let me know if there's a better time to chat. Or sometimes I say it's between $10 and $20 a day. I'll send you the flyer with 3 options. You tell me what's best for you. And I'll screenshot that good, better, best option. And, you don't get all that coaching and everything, but we got to meet people where they're at. And some people, they want to stay on the phone with you for an hour. Some people want to be on the phone with you for 30 seconds, And that's just part of us learning. That's part of us growing together and finding what works. You're not doing anything wrong. I mean, you're great. You've been like constantly enrolling 2 to 5 people every week for months. I mean, you're doing awesome. Celebrate that. And just because some are not as smooth or some people give you a hard time or, some people are frustrated with you, like celebrate all those yeses. And sometimes it's not people's timing or they're frustrated with the money they have. And so they're taking that out on you, and your verbiage will come with more experience and the more calls that you do. So you guys, it is 8:30. Laura, you taught me stuff about the body wash tonight. I didn't know it could be used as shampoo. I also have color treated hair, but that was awesome.
Just for men with short hair, like Chris. Chris is a great candidate for it.
Chris, you got to tell us how it is. We're relying on you. Thank you again for telling your stories. You guys, thank you for your commitment here on a Tuesday night. We love you guys. Keep telling your teams about this. I mean, there's so much value in this. And I truly believe that those that go up, and we want the best for you guys. So finish the 90-day action plan strong. We will see you next Tuesday with Alex Sabat. Bye, guys. Good night. Thanks, Laura.